will deliver the same day you call without a credit check. There's no reason to live without a new appliance. Call now in Minneapolis, 588-7881, or St. Paul, 645-6688.
The stakes are high on the Joker's Wild, when players vie for big money and super prizes. Grab the fun on the Joker's Wild.
Don't miss the Joker's Wild on KMSP TV, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Welcome to Love Connection. Today you'll meet Sarah. She says if she's not having a good time on a date, she'll fall asleep at the table. Yesterday, the audience voted on which of these three men would be best for her. Today, you'll find out who Sarah chose as her date. And you'll meet Glenda. She's back to tell us about her date with the man the audience chose for her. Today on Love Connection, you'll hear everything that happened on their dates. Now, here's our host, Chuck Willery.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Love Connection. I'm glad you're here. Let's get started by meeting our first guest. She was raised in Indiana. She dates at least twice a week, and she says she'd like to get married again for 3 specific reasons. Please welcome Sarah Hunter. Hey, Sarah. How are you? Well, tell me the 3 reasons you want to get married.
Okay, reason number 1 would be companionship. Number 2 would be that I am tired of the dating game. And number 3 would be to better my financial situation.
Bigger bucks.
Yes. Why not?
You really fall asleep on a date you don't like?
Well,
You just go nose down in your pea soup? And...
Okay, let's look at it this way. One time I went out with an accountant who was the most boring man I've ever met in my entire life. So instead of, it's very rude to tell someone that you're not enjoying their company, so I just nodded off.
Let's remind everybody what happened yesterday. Yesterday, our studio audience saw Sarah's 3 choices, and they voted for one. Let's take a look at all 3 men again and catch up today. First, there was Michael. Michael enjoys yoga, and he says he'd like to get married again as well. And that was Michael. And then Thomas. Thomas loves to garden and write poetry. When it comes to women, he says he's not selective enough. That was Thomas. Then Steve. Steve's 6 foot 8 inches tall, weighs 240 pounds. He says he's a night owl who likes to read science fiction, solve problems, and cuddle. That was Steve. Now, the audience vote was recorded yesterday. We're going to get to that a little bit later, but right now, Sarah's going to tell us who she chose. Who'd you choose?
I chose Steve.
Chose Steve.
Yes.
Okay. Steve's backstage. Let's say hello to Steve White. Hi, Steve. Hi. How are you?
It's great.
Good. Steve, when you feel like it, jump in the water, okay?
Will do.
All righty. Tell us about the date.
Tell you about the date.
Yes.
Okay, well, I called him on the phone, and then we set up a time to meet. So he showed up, and it was enchanting. I was very glad to meet him.
Good. Good. Did you like Sarah? Did you like what you saw in her?
Yeah, she grabbed me. She had orchestrated the whole evening, and we rushed off the restaurant and had a great time.
Well, good. Okay, so you're out the door, in the car, and off to dinner.
Yeah, actually, we walked because I was clever enough to have arranged meeting him at one location that was right near where we were going, so we walked over there. An exclusive restaurant.
Did not meet him at home?
No.
Well, you say that no.
Well, what if I hadn't liked him, and then he would know where I would live, and then he'd be lurking outside someday?
So you walked to this place?
Yes.
Yes.
And it was an elegant restaurant, and we had an elegant meal that was absolutely delightful. In fact, the waiter asked us what the occasion was because we had a bottle of champagne. And, he brought some kind of little fattening dessert out with a candle.
Nice. Yeah. Did you like the dinner conversation, Steve?
Yeah, it went on for 3 hours.
Did it really? What did you talk about?
We talked philosophy. We ate. It was delightful. What was there not to like?
So he stimulated your intellect.
Absolutely.
Yes. And you stimulated, or she stimulated yours as well?
Yes, she was.
Hello?
I beg your pardon, Steve?
Yeah, she was full of opinions and learned just exactly what everyone around us would do later that evening.
Was there ever any opportunity for romance on this date, Steve?
Yes, a lot of opportunity, but I think she was a little preoccupied talking.
I thought, when you're in an elegant, expensive French restaurant, I think it's a little tacky, don't you?
Well, I was more thinking of after the dinner when we went out walking in the moonlight.
Oh, tell us about that, Steve. Tell me about this, Steve.
Well, we went to the old Pasadena City Hall and their gardens and fountains, and it was a beautiful, warm summer night, and he kept on talking.
Were you nervous?
Yes, I was. I was nervous, so I suppose I talked a little more. We held hands and walked. We walked over to a college environment where there was beautiful sculpture. It was very nice. I thought it was very pleasant.
No kissing?
No.
No hugging?
No.
And you didn't want that?
Well, I thought it would be inappropriate.
Okay. Well, that answers the question.
That's
Sure, I
it.
understand. Did you have a good time on this date, Steve?
Yeah, I found Sarah very stimulating and very interesting and just full of opinions. I really enjoyed the evening.
Steve is dancing like Fred Astaire.
I sound like a Supreme Court judge. Pardon me?
How did the date end?
Oh, it ended in blissful conversation, I guess, with me talking into the sunset or the wee small hours, because it was late by then. He drove me back to my car, and I entered my car, and we had a pleasant goodbye, and I drove off into the
Into
smog.
the night.
Yes.
Well, the smog, as it were, yeah. Let's take a look and see the audience pick for you, okay? Interesting. Interesting. The audience... They chose Thomas, 43%. Well, would you like to go out with Thomas, and we'll pay for it? That's how it works if you take their advice, or you can remain on your own and do what you want.
I want to go out with this man again.
Steve, is that all right with you?
That'd be fine with me.
Oh, come on out, Steve. Have a seat, Steve. Have a seat, Steve.
Are you sitting down?
Yeah. How would you feel about less talk and more romance on the next date? I don't mean to be sleazy or anything like that, but just curious. You guys are sitting so far apart.
It's appropriate.
Yeah. How would you feel about more romance and less talk? Really, Sarah?
You just asked him.
No, I asked you,
He
Sarah.
didn't respond. Well, we'd have to see.
You really
Why are you asking
You're
me that?
really nervous about this, aren't
of
you? Well,
course.
you can tell me. It's all right. I mean, you know, do you want to talk more? Do you want to look deep into his
You
eyes?
want to go back to my childhood? We can reenact.
I have a feeling he doesn't.
I think that time and nature takes its course, don't you?
Yes, if you are quiet long enough to give it a chance. I didn't mean to come on. Okay, this is where the host shuts up. We have a nice parting gift. Well, thanks for coming out on the show. It was very entertaining and stimulatingly intellectual. Or intellectually stimulating. We're going to come right back with another couple in just a minute. Stay here.
Different people have different kinds of coughs. A dry cough, a cough that keeps you awake, a cough with a stuffed-up nose. And some people have a combination of symptoms. That's why there are 4 different kinds of Robitussin. Each contains an expectorant to help loosen phlegm, one a cough suppressant to quiet coughs, one adds a decongestant to relieve stuffy nose. One combines all these relief actions. 4 different Robitussin cough medicines for different kinds of coughs. Which Robitussin should you take? Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
Hey, pal. Don't you worry about a thing. You don't have to call the police, because I'll take care of everything. Ambulance? No, I don't need it. Oh, you? Sure. Trust me, I'll take care of everything.
Being injured in an accident isn't so funny. You have to protect your legal rights. Call the law firm of Milivets and Associates.
I just had a couple of small drinks, that's all.
Take care. Friendly people, great service, fair prices, and above all, honesty make Motec Transmission Clinics the #1 choice in the Twin Cities. Motec services all American and foreign cars, automatic or manual transmissions. At Motec, quality repairs aren't expensive, they're priceless. Our track record speaks for itself.
Free towing for vehicles not drivable to our shop, Egan and St. Louis Park.
Hollywood Super Westerns Week continues tonight at 7 with Fire Creek.
Maybe nobody can keep you from leaving this town, but I'm following. I'm following. We get to a marshal, I'm going to charge you with murder.
Little worrying over that leg will slow you down.
Fire Creek, starring James Stewart and Henry Fonda, tonight at 7 on Receptive Channel 9. Your movie too.
Guest is back to tell us about her second date on Love Connection. Now, she's originally from Florida. She's been engaged 5 times, but never married. She says when she meets a man, she likes to look through his closets. Please welcome Glenda Swales. Hi, Glenda. Welcome back. You look pretty as ever.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You look handsome yourself.
Oh, thanks. I was hoping you'd say that. What usually happens between the time you get engaged and the wedding date?
Well, they usually change on you. They spoil you at first, and then towards the end, they get pretty boring, and they just change completely.
Yeah. Do men know that you go through their closets?
No, not really. I do it while they're not looking.
Why do you do that? What can you tell by going through a man's closet?
One thing you can tell if they're slob or not, and then you can tell by what kind of clothes they're wearing, you know, what type of taste they have.
Do you figure that either if they're sloppy, you don't want to be married to them?
Right.
Don't want to have a relationship.
No taste, I don't want to bother with them either.
You can always change. You know, a guy might be a terrific guy, and you want to change his taste. You can kind of change him a little bit.
No, I want them to have it together.
Oh.
Basically together.
Okay. Let's remind the audience of the 3 men that Glenda had to choose from her first date. Okay, here they are. First was David. He's a photographer. He's 31. That was David. Ken is also 31, and Ken is a journalist. Finally, Timothy. He's a police officer, and Timothy is 28. Now, as I recall, originally you chose David, and we have a short clip of your date with David we're going to show right now, okay? You just watch right in that monitor, anyone you find, Ashley.
He got the impression I was tired, and gave a nice hug, and he gave me a little kiss, and that was it.
Did Glenda give you any indication that the date was over, David?
Well, the date was running real smooth, and it did up until we got to her house, and she sat on the chair, and I sat on the couch, and, you know, that's a small indication that, you know, maybe...
Well, David, that's a big indication. Oh, gee. The audience that day voted for a different man, and you were out with him, right? Yeah, okay. When we come back, we're going to meet that man. We're going to hear everything that happened on this date. We'll be back to do that in just a minute. Stay with
People with college or business experience can face the future one of 2 ways.
With computer training.
Or without it.
Don't turn your back on the career opportunities that computer training can create for you.
Program your future for success.
For this free brochure and information on computer programming and operations, call Minnesota School of Business at 341-2221. Call now, 341-2221.
Is your old television on the fritz?
Is life without a washer giving you fits?
And your darn stereo just decided to quit? Then it's time to call Color Time.
Right now, one call and only $10 delivers a name brand TV, stereo, or appliance for the first week's rental from Color Time, America's largest rent-to-own system. So take time and call now, because it's
time to call Color Time.
Does your car suffer from the uh-ohs? Maaco has the answer for you. From rust, dents, crashes, to a great paint job, Maaco brings your car back to life, all for a price lower than you'd ever expect. And accident claims? It's all part of the job at Maaco. Maaco offers paint services that start as low as $99.95. Why pay hundreds more when Maaco has a paint job to suit every car, every pocketbook? Just like 2 million other Maaco customers have enjoyed. So if your car has an uh-oh, better get Maaco.
There's nothing like it in the universe. The ultronic system,
space-age technology that makes the new Mr. Coffee unlike any coffee maker on Earth. Now, fresh brewed coffee tastes better, and with electronic digital control, your coffee is ready automatically. Mr. Coffee, for the most perfect cup of coffee on this planet or any other.
Alrighty, we're back. We're going to meet the man that the audience chose for you right now, okay? He's backstage right now. Let's welcome Tim Cox. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Chuck.
How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Tim, anytime you feel like jumping in there, just at your own leave, okay?
If you insist.
Talk to me, Glenda. Tell me about this date.
We decided to go out to dinner, and Tim was a little late, about 30 minutes late. I got kind of a little worried, and I said, well, maybe he's not going to show, but he showed, and we went to dinner, and then after dinner, we went dancing.
Tim, why were you late?
Well, I'm kind of like habitually late. You know?
Oh, are you really?
And I could tell Gwen was a little irritated about it. But I figured it wouldn't be a big problem.
How did you like Glenda's looks when you saw her?
She's really attractive. I'm not too fond of braids. That was kind of the thing that...
Well, I wasn't too thrilled the way he was dressed. He had looked like ski boots on. He had
ski boots?
Yeah, like they were thick rubber boots, and I was just shocked when I saw him. And he had a pair of cords on, and he had a T-shirt on. And I'm not used to going out with guys with T-shirts on.
Sorry about that. Touches in the fingers.
Okay, and then we went...
Where did you take him someplace?
No, he took me. He picked me up. Yeah. And then we went after dinner. Well, while we was having dinner, he has a very big appetite.
Does
he? Yeah, and he does. And he spoke about how he was overweight, and I agreed with him.
That he was overweight?
Yeah. A little overweight, I agree with him.
Yeah?
And he was working on it. But he had a great appetite, so I offered
What did he eat?
Well, seafood and salad and appetizer. A little bit of everything. And I offered him my food at the end.
Did he eat it?
No, he was too full.
What did you talk about over dinner, Tim?
Well, I asked her why she didn't pick me at first. And she told me that the other guy seemed to be more interesting. So I was going to take one of the crab legs that I had and throw it on the table.
Quietly gets his point across. So what, after Tim hit you in the leg with his crab leg, what did you do then?
No, I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it?
No, I didn't do it.
If he had...
If you'd done that, it'd been all over, huh?
I would have punched him.
Would you really?
Yes.
Would you have punched him?
Yeah, but he's an officer, so he might arrest me.
Oh.
No. Only for 8 hours.
Only for 8 hours, you said.
Okay. And then after dinner, we went dancing, and
Is he a good dancer?
Yeah, Tim's a good dancer. I was really impressed. Even with the snow boots on, he was doing it.
You're on your way to the sea when the snow falls.
How is Glenda, Tim?
Oh, she was a good dancer, real good person to be out with. Had a great time with her.
Well, Tim is a very nice guy. While we were there dancing, another guy came up to us and asked him if he minded if I danced with him. Tim said he agreed that I could dance with the guy.
Yeah.
So I did. And I knew I was safe because I knew nothing would happen to me because I knew Tim was a cop, so no problem.
You felt very...
I felt very secure.
Very safe and very protected? That's good, isn't it?
Very secure. No problem. He was definitely a gentleman.
What do you think of this guy who danced, Glenda?
This guy was probably a candidate for Freak of the Week. He was kind of a fat, sloppy, sweaty kind of guy. And then he wanted me to get up and dance with him and Glenda, and I just kind of got really worried about that. I figured that she would take off and leave, and then I'd be left with him, so.
I wasn't going to leave it to God.
Oh,
he was in the Navy.
Oh, he was in the Navy?
That makes it even worse.
No, he was just a little drunk.
How'd the date end?
He knew I had to go to work the next day, so he got me back home. And he walked me upstairs, and that was it. The date ended.
You know, I can't tell whether this was a good date or a bad date. I really can't tell. Was it a good date or a bad date?
It was a good date. He's a nice guy.
Would you like to go out with him again?
No, I think I'll pass.
Really?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Tim, anything to add?
Oh, no, Glenda's a fantastic person, but I don't think that we had that little bit of magic there that makes it for a relationship or anything. But she's a fantastic person. Some guy's going to be real lucky.
Well, that's a nice thing to say.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Well, Tim, I'm sorry things didn't work out. We have a nice gift for you. Maybe we'll see you again.
Okay.
All right? And I'm sorry that things didn't work out for you as well, Glenda. Now, you're on your own, but I have a feeling from looking at you and listening, you're not going to have any problem at all.
I don't.
I'm sure you don't. Okay. Thanks for coming on the show. We're going to come right back with our next guest. Stay with us.
When you want someone to think your tops, try a bunch of Tootsie Pops. Give your Tootsie a Tootsie. If a happy family is your goal, surprise them with the Tootsie Roll. Give your Tootsie a Tootsie. If you want to get someone's attention every time you stop, we've got the greatest invention. It's called a Tootsie Pop Drop. When you want to brighten someone's day, Tootsie's got a lot of ways.
For Halloween, give those Tootsies a Tootsie. Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Pops, and Pop Drops.
Gather round, Minnesota, gather round. Rudy Boschwitz coming into town. He'll be part of you and me down in Washington, D.C. when the U.S. Senate gathers round. When the U.S. Senate gathers round.
Senator Rudy Boschwitz.
I don't wear diapers, but he does. It's a good thing Mom called Rena-Santa.
You're right. With the cost of a new baby, we couldn't afford a down payment for a washer and dryer. At Rena-Center, we didn't need one. No credit hassles either. Today, we rented this washer and dryer for just a few dollars a week. If we decide to own, we've got the option. Rena-Center takes care of repairs, too. It was the right step for us.
He did it again.
Stay tuned for more of Love Connections.
Bet you can't tempt Sarge's tummy with the taste of nuts and honey. She does everything by the book.
Ooh. Hey, Sarge, Honey Nut Cheerios got crunchy nuts.
And tasty golden honey.
Nuts and honey? Maybe I better investigate.
It's called a tasty tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's a honey of an oat. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Kid, you got a real future. That's off the record.
It's a honey of an oat. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Folks, meet Annie the architect. Annie's not in a very constructive mood today because she's wearing one of those saggy diapers that leak. Here's a better plan, Annie. Kleenex Huggies. Thick, absorbent Huggies diapers have this form-fitting baby shape with soft, gentle elastic at the leg. So Huggies hug to help stop leaking and help keep babies happier. Now, that's a pretty good foundation to build on. Just ask Annie.
He's from Canton, Ohio. He's studying for his master's degree, and he prefers women without makeup. He says that marriage is a possibility, but not more kids. Doesn't want any more children. Please welcome David Ansel. Hi, David. I'm fine, thanks. What's the problem with makeup, David?
When it's gobs of makeup around the eyes, especially, it comes across as a bit phony, and maybe the lady's trying to hide something, be something she isn't. I prefer the natural look.
Oh, so you like that kind of California surfer girl look?
You got it.
I got you. Okay. Now you're going to college, right?
Yeah, for my master's.
You ever date other students? I mean, because you're obviously an older man going to college. Are you back on campus?
No, it's a satellite facility. It's in an office building, but the environment there is very nice for meeting ladies. I've dated a few and studied together with them, and it's just a good place.
Kind of like being back in high school again.
You bet.
Yeah. How long have you been divorced?
Just about a year.
Yeah. Easy? Hard?
It was a very friendly divorce, if there is such a thing. We're still friends. We're never at war, and it's very good. If it has to be a divorce, it's the best it could be.
Explain to me how you feel about marriage and children, in your words.
Well, I had a marriage of 19 years, and it was
long time.
It was good while it lasted. We just grew apart, changed attitudes a little bit, and I have 2 boys. I raised the youngest one from when he was just a baby, and we're very close together today. It's very important the time I spend with him still. He's only 14, and we try and get together as often as possible and do things.
And you have 2 children?
Right. I have a boy 19 and a boy 14.
14, and the 19-year-old's kind of on his own now?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So marriage and children were important to you, but now it's only marriage, not children anymore.
That's right. Now I'm looking to, I'll be done with school in a few months, and it's been a very tough program, and just time to enjoy traveling and being with somebody. And
do you like to date younger women, or do you like to date women your own age?
I've dated a wide range from probably 25 to 45, and if they have a child, that's fine. I just want them to be sure that there's no more in the future with me involved.
That's basically what I was doing. All right. Let's take a look at the tapes that David saw now. Remember, you're going to vote again. Here they come. First, there was Sharon. She's originally from Seattle, and she has a 9-year-old daughter. She believes in setting an example for children, and she doesn't like casual dating. Here's more from Sharon.
I give my 100%, and therefore it's not like I ever have real short relationships. It's always long-term relationships. So I want it to be known, like almost immediately, what I want in my life is I want marriage.
Okay, next there was Connie. She has 3 teenage children. She likes to fish, but says she won't bait the hook. She thinks a man with a mustache is extremely sexy, and here's a little bit more.
It doesn't have to be the man that's got to do the asking all the time. If I find someone that I feel I might like to go out with, and I think he might be too, ask. Because some men I know sometimes are too afraid, they're too bashful for being rejected, and they like it sometimes when a woman does the asking.
Okay, and finally you watch Joyce. Joyce says she'd climb out of a window to end a bad date. She's taking courses in gourmet cooking and accounting, and here's more from Joyce about men.
I think they basically are more shy than women. I think women have a little bit more of a sense of adventure. And because there have been a couple of instances where I've met a really attractive man and we've made eye contact, which is to me the most important thing. And they've started talking, and I've started talking, and I keep the conversation going, and you know they're just trying to get the courage up to ask you out.
Okay, let's see all 3 women again. First there was Sharon. She's 34. She's a teacher. And Connie, she's 38. She's a cashier. Finally, Joyce, she's 36. She's a secretary. Okay, audience, time to vote again. Who do you think's the best woman for Dave? All right. The audience here has made its choice. We're out of time, so we're going to have to find out who Dave picked and hear everything that happened on that date tomorrow. That's our show for today. This is Chuck Woolery. We enjoyed having you here. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
On Love Connection will receive the following: Presto's Above All Can Opener Plus. Opens cans easily and quickly. Plus bottles, bags, and jars. Mounts under cabinet to save counter space. New from Presto. Or Soft Soap Liquid Soap. Now available in holiday designs. Soft Soap, where beauty and softness go hand in hand. Or Black & Decker's Collector, the powerful handheld vacuum with a long cord to pick up where big vacs leave off. The Collector from Black & Decker. Or Dinner is Wonderful with Rice-A-Rona's long grain and wild rice, the special San Francisco treat that adds a gourmet touch to any meal. Or a 3-piece set of Harvard cutlery from True Value Hardware Store's new line of Harvard cutlery with high carbon steel blades and solid wall-on handles, now sold exclusively at True Value Hardware Stores. Or Ice Cubes, smooth, delicious chocolatey candy, now also in mint flavor. Buy them with a piece, bar, or family pack. Ice Cubes are good and chocolatey.
For Love Connection, this is Rod Roddy.
The Joker's Wild is next, followed by Tic-Tac-Doe, and then Heathcliff, here on Receptive Channel 9.
Technology is moving too fast for you to stand still. So you train at Control Data Institute to prepare for life as a computer technician, troubleshooter with a briefcase. Control Data Institute, where over 43,000 computer graduates got their start. Train with a leader, and the future of computers could be your future, too. Call 921-4444.
Mom, you're giving me great creep.
Great creep! It's even in my sheets. It's taking over my clothes.
hard water causes gray creep. Calgon cures it. Calgon softens hard water like detergents alone can't. Gets your clothes cleaner, brighter, whiter.
The gray creep's gone.
My glass is white again. I've been washing with Calgon.
Calgon turns hard water gray into soft water white.
There are a lot of dealers out there talking about sales these days, but at the gigantic Roseville Chrysler Plymouth Harold, the 5-star chicken, says make it easy for the folks. They got to be able to come in and take their car home today, and you can do exactly that. Harold, go to work. We want to tell the folks about the sale that's continuing. $55 down, is that a problem? Or how about $500 down? You name it. Make it easy on yourself. Take a look at a 1979 Olds 88, $55 down, only $105 a month. Here's a 1981 Plymouth Horizon, only $2,955. 633-3500 is our phone number. Why don't you give us a call?
This is KMSP TV, Minneapolis, St. Paul.